Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I actually already filmed the intro for this video and then proceeded to delete it and not realize until now when I have sat down to film the outro. So, bear with me, bear with me. In today's video, we are going to be catching up on my fall TBR because I have fallen behind due to midterms. Okay, if you want to know how many of the books off of my fall TBR that we discussed in this video I've read, the answer to that question would be 0. Yay! And this video is coming out the second week of November. So it's a little late, but that's okay. That's okay. I know all of my other college people know the struggle, so we are going to be catching up on my fall TBR. I picked 2 books that are the most fall, in my opinion, on my TBR, and that's what we're going to be reading today. So we are going to be reading The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I feel like I'm the last person on the planet to read it. And then we are also going to be reading The Pumpkin Spice Cafe because what is more fall than pumpkin spice? We are going to just dive straight into this. Hopefully, I can read some more books other than just these 2 off of my fall TBR, but we'll see. We'll see. Hello, everyone. I'm about halfway through The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, so it is, of course, time for an update. So, this book is about a witch who lives in Britain, and her name is Mika Moon, and it's illegal to be a witch. If you were born a witch, you can't tell anyone. You really can't hang out with any other witches, so it's a very lonely life being a witch. Our female main character gets a random message that there are 3 young witches at this house. She has to go and help train them in their magic. So she goes, and that's what this book is all about. She's training them, she's getting to know them. Halfway point, I don't know how I feel because the 3 young witches, they are very immature, I feel. And this is something that I've noticed a lot with books is young characters, children are always either way too young for their age. They act way too young for their age or they act way too mature and grown for their age. They're too wise. And in this book, they just feel very young to me. They don't feel like actual people. It's very cozy, but I'm not quite sure what the plot is because it feels like we have a couple of different things going on. There's a little bit of romance being hinted at, but like we're not fully committing to that and we're not fully committing to like training the kids. I don't know. I feel like the plot is a little bit lost. It's not my favorite read as of right now. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll get better. But there are some very cute aspects about this book. Like our female main character drives, I don't know what kind of car she drives, but she calls it the broomstick because she's witch. So there are aspects of this book that are very, very cute and cozy. It's a very cute and cozy book. However, the plot is just not fully fleshed out, I think is the word for right now. But hopefully we're just like being introduced to things are being set up, and then we'll like kind of get into the swing of the plot and things will kind of progress. But as of right now, that's my update. I'm going to keep reading. All right. Bye everybody. Hello everybody. I have finished the very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I'm so glad that I won't have to say this title ever again. I really wanted to like the book. I really did. It was very cozy, that's for sure, but it felt like the warm fall, cozy vibes of this book stood in the way of the plot progressing in a way that it should have. I feel like nothing really happened in this book. It was just to be cozy. And it could have been a very interesting plot. There could have been so much more going on, but the coziness stood in the way of that. I would have liked to see more. I ended up giving this a 3 stars. And that makes me so sad because I've heard such great things about this and I was really excited to read it, but it's not for me. So, That's an update on this one. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I will catch up with you later. Hello, everyone. I'm about halfway through the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, so of course it's time for an update. I'm about to start chapter 17. I am liking this book. The small town aspect of it's going to get me every time, okay? You've heard me talk about how much I love a small town. This small town is darling. It is reminding me a lot of the When in Rome series. That town and the townspeople, they're very nosy. It's very cute. Another aspect that I'm loving is obviously the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. There's nothing more cozy, there's nothing more fall than a little small town coffee shop. And I'm absolutely loving that part of it. Of course, I also have to say that I'm loving our little kitty here, Casper, because what's not to love about a cat? He's so precious. Let's talk a little bit about the things that I'm not liking. So, this book is very insta lovey, and I knew that before going into the book. So, it wasn't as jarring for me to be like, wow, okay, it's page 2 and they're already in love with each other. Another thing that I'm not liking so much about this book is the male main character. I'm having a really hard time connecting with him. He feels very surface level to me. I just don't think he's a well fleshed out character. Maybe I just don't know him well enough. Maybe things will turn around. I wish that we were seeing a little bit more of the small town, getting to know more of the townspeople. If when we spent a little more time at the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, I feel like that would make this book even cozier. However, it is having the intended effect. Okay, I am in a full fall mood. I am ready to try pumpkin spice lattes again. I'm not a pumpkin spice girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that that's a hot take. This is making me want to try that again. So, anyways, now that I'm halfway through, I am going to switch over to the audiobook to see if that works a little bit better. And while I do that, I'm going to be doing one of my favorite hobbies, which is coloring. I love these adult coloring books. They're so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, I'm just absolutely obsessed with these. And I have the perfect page picked out to color while we are listening to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Look at how stinking cute this is, okay? He has his coffee. He went to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and he got his coffee, and he went to the Cinnamon Bun bookstore and he picked up his book. So I'm going to be coloring this while listening to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I'm sure I'll have a few little clips updating you on my coloring page, and then I will come back with my next update for the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Hello, everyone. I just finished the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Man, does this put the spice in Pumpkin Spice Cafe? There's no actual plot, I fear. There's no actual plot. It's just pumpkin spice. That's what we're going to call it. I felt like the mystery in this book was really just overshadowed by all of the romance that was happening, and there was a lot of romance going on. I didn't feel an emotional connection between the characters. It felt very forced, it felt very unnatural. Kind of disappointed by this book. This is going to be another 3 stars for me because I loved like getting to see the town and getting to know like some of the townspeople and that aspect of things, the time that we spent inside the cafe itself. I just really wish that this book had a little more plot and a little less pumpkin spice. I feel like our male main character and our female main character really didn't have a lot in common. They didn't have a lot of moments together that you find in other romance books where it makes you root for them. This book was really lacking that. It just made the romance aspect of the book, which was a majority of it, almost difficult for me to read because I wasn't invested. I didn't really care if the couple got together and they were together. I just really wasn't rooting for them because they didn't have those moments where I'm like, yeah, these two were made for each other. And that's what I'm looking for in a romance book. I'm looking for those moments and I'm looking for that connection that the two people have, reasons to root for them. So it's middle of the road. That's how I feel about it. Take it, leave it. If you want to read it, read it. If you don't want to read it, you're not missing much. I will see you guys in the outro. That's all I have to say about the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Now we have officially reached the end of the video. We are caught up here. Let's do a little bit of a recap. I wasn't the biggest fan of either of these books. I think I'm the problem because everybody else loves these. Maybe I'm just not into the cozy vibe. I think that might be the problem. I know, especially with fantasies, if it's something considered a cozy fantasy, I know that I'm not gonna like it. But these did definitely put me in the fall mood, and I'm glad that I can cross some of these off of my fall TBR, feel a little bit accomplished in my reading. Maybe I'll even go and try a pumpkin spice latte. Wouldn't that be crazy? We'll see you in the next video. Happy reading!